Hi, welcome to Pico Playtime, the video series where I play through some cool Pico 8 games to show to you, lovely people. Now, the whole point of this video series is that I am trying to show the very best that Pico 8 has to offer. So today, the game I'm going to be playing is called X0, and it's by Paranoid Cactus. Yes, it's another game by Paranoid Cactus that I'm doing a video about, but that's because they're all so good. This one is one of the very best. So let's give it a look. I'm running the game on Splore. It was first released on Splore in 2019. You can also play it on itch, link down below. So X0, it's a run and gun platform game, kind of a little bit like Contra. That's one of the games it reminds me most of anyway. And it has some really cool platforming, some good shooting action. There's a little bit of procedural generation in the level layout, and it's just a great game. You need to try it out. Even if you're not interested in Pico 8, you need to play this game because it's worth it. So let's read the description, shall we? Fight your way through an infested base, collecting weapon power-ups. Hack every terminal in the facility to gain access to the Hive Mind's chamber. Yes, you explore a very Metroid-looking kind of base, and you fight a boss at the end. I don't think I'll be able to get all the way to the end of the game in this video, but you want to get to the end boss because it's a really cool boss. Anyway, let's get cracking. Make sure my controller's on, that'll help. There we go. So, the game has a little bit of procedural generation. The way that works is there are kind of full screen size kind of prefabs, and a maze is kind of built up from those. So it's not kind of completely randomly generated, you know. All the platforms are placed in such a way that you can actually jump on them, but the layouts are randomized, so each playthrough is going to be a little bit different, giving a little bit of replay value, as they say. So I can run around with my little blue man, I can jump, I can hold fire, and I can aim up and down. I'm not sure what games have an aiming like this, but I think it's really good. It's kind of like the Metroid aiming, but a lot easier because you just hold up and down to aim. First things first, the outstanding graphics. I love the graphics in this game. Everything is beautifully animated. There's some very nice animation and graphics. It looks very professional, this, doesn't it? Anyway, you may have noticed then I was shooting some of those kind of fly-looking enemies, and one of them dropped a power-up. This is our weapon upgrade. So if I pick up a weapon upgrade, I have triple fire now. There's another level of weapon upgrade I can get, so I'll be firing 5 shots. You don't have ammunition or anything to worry about, so you can just hold that fire button down. And yeah, gradually enemies will start to spawn for us to fight. Now, you may have noticed in the top right corner there is a kind of mini-map, and that shows you, the red dots show you where the terminals are that need to be hacked, and I've actually just missed one, so doing a little bit of backtracking now. Where do I need to go? Here we go, up here. Lovely smooth gameplay, some beautiful parallax scrolling. I'm a real sucker for parallax scrolling. That's the background is doing that, if you're not aware what that is, where the background scrolls at a different rate to the foreground to give you that depth effect. I love that. So here we go, here is a terminal. To hack it, we just hold down and it hacks it. And there you go. You may have noticed the cool kind of glitching corruption effect when you're hacking. That's a nice touch, isn't it? Anyway, that's first one down. How many have I got altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 terminals to hack. I'm not sure if that's randomized or if it's always the same number. I don't know. But anyway, just realised I've just gone past another one. The minimap is very much appreciated. Oh, I'm at a dead end. It must be below. I'll have to get round to that one another way. yeah, the minimap makes this game much more playable. It would be very difficult without the minimap. So that's a nice little addition. You'll notice there that I took a couple of hits. When you take a hit, your weapon is kind of downgraded, and you also lose some health. Now, enemies drop health and they also drop weapon upgrades, so you can kind of claw your way back to where you were. Now look, the minimap keeps teasing me. There's all these terminals that look like they're very close, but actually I'm going to have to kind of double around. The level randomization is really cool. The last game that I played of this, I had quite a long section in the middle where I had to kind of fight my way kind of through the middle section. So there's lots of terminals at the start and then lots of terminals at the end, not a lot in the middle, so it's all kind of random. There's some health, so I'll pick that up. Up at the top there you'll see, I think we've got 3 lives. So you know, that should be enough for us to get through. 2 types of enemies in the game. There are these flying enemies who, I love the way they move around, kind of bobbing up and down. Oh, God, took a hit there, that was bad. There are the flying enemies, and there are also the, I don't know, what would you call them? Kind of look like beasts. Oh, there's 2 there. Again, look at that animation. Fantastic animation in this game. Hey, we got an upgrade back. Now, if I can manage not to take a load of hits, I'll be able to show you the top level of, weapon upgrades, making the game much easier. One of the cool things is, as you get weapons upgraded, there we go. So this will be the top level now. So I'm firing 5 shots. Now the nice thing about this is, if you're on a kind of ledge here and you fire down, you can fire straight down, which is really helpful if you're trying to hit enemies below you. So I really like the weapon in this game. It's the kind of game where it'd be nice if there were some more weapons and things that were added. But the game was made in 2 weeks, so I can understand, or around 2 weeks, so I can understand if there wasn't time to add another weapon in. Oh! But yeah, it's so much fun, this game. I just want more of it. We're doing well with hacking now, this is looking good. So, looks like we need to go along this bottom corridor. You see there, those grey clouds, those are when the enemies kind of spawn in. The further you get into the game, into the level, the more enemies spawn. By the end of the game, you will be firing and fighting and defeating lots and lots of enemies. I've also realised I've been taking loads of hits and I'm nearly dead, so I need to be careful. Yeah, I don't know why I've waited so long to do a video about this game. This really is one of the best Pico 8 games at the moment. If I was going to show someone for the first time what Pico 8 was, this would be a game that I would be thinking about showing them first. To show them how cool it is. Oh, I'm getting driven around here. Yeah, I've already mentioned how much I like the... I'm going the wrong way completely here. I've already mentioned how I like the animation of the game, but the graphics just in general as well. I like the kind of circuit board, technical looking, high-tech looking platforms and things. It gives the game a real distinctive look. And the music too. You know, the very best Pico 8 games, they kind of fool you into thinking this is like a game, you know, this is a game from the 8-bit, from the 16-bit era, isn't it? A real game. And yeah, if you had this on a Master System or a NES, you would be a very happy person, I think. It's good. Right, am I going the right way again? No, I'm still going the wrong way. Yeah, me talking and reading a map at the same time, it's not happening, is it? Now, one of the... as a developer, one of the kind of challenges of making a game in Pico 8 are the limitations, but that's what also makes a Pico 8 game what it is. So, you've got to pick what you put into a game. You can't put every idea that you've got into a game because you're going to run out of space. So I like the fact that there's 2 different enemies. The flies or flying things, you see them a lot more. They're a little bit easier. Those beasts, what I'm calling them anyway, look kind of like, I don't know, they do look pretty nasty. They take a few more hits, but obviously they just patrol left and right. So, you know, the two types of enemies there are enough to make a very satisfying and fun experience. I like the way that the enemies spawn much more frequently the further you get into the game. It makes a nice kind of difficulty curve, because as you can see, you can very quickly get to oops, you don't get hit, that is. You can very quickly get to the maximum kind of level of your weapon. So then after that point, the kind of number of enemies ramps up, the difficulty ramps up. It's very satisfying, very fun. The only criticism that I really have about the kind of difficulty curve, if you like, or kind of the gameplay in general, I suppose, is if you die, you respawn right at the start of the map again. Now, in my previous playthrough, where I managed to complete it, I died just before the boss area, and I was right back at the beginning, and I had to traipse all the way back through, which was a little bit tiresome. So yeah, maybe some like checkpoints, maybe halfway through the map. I think a checkpoint every time you hack a terminal, that'd probably be a bit too much. But yeah, some kind of a checkpoint system so you didn't have to go all the way back. The way the enemies spawn in is interesting. I haven't quite figured out exactly how it works. You can sometimes see, well, we did see earlier on, those kind of clouds when enemies are about to spawn in. That seems to happen, or you seem to notice that more when you change directions. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how that's working, but the game does kind of keep track of your progress through the level, so however it's working, it is working, and it's doing its job. Okay, so it looks as though... Oh, didn't need to take that hit then. It looks as though we need to kind of go up and to the left from where we are now. Looks like we've got a big dead end to explore. I had a look over the cartridge to kind of figure out how it all works, or how parts of it work. I'm not sure I understand everything, but the way the prefabs work for the level layout is, it works really well. It's very cool. It's because of the fact that there aren't, well, all the level looks the same, if you like. There's only kind of one background effect, there's one kind of platform style. It means that you don't kind of notice the joins in the levels. Often if you have procedural generation with kind of prefabs, you do start to notice the joins, and you'll get very familiar with certain layouts. That doesn't seem to happen much in this game, or it hasn't happened to me much yet anyway, so that's good. Nice little bit of design there. Oh, this is so much fun. Anyway, you can play this game on Splore. It's also on Itch, where you can also download it if you want to. It's well worth it. It's well worth checking out. It's just been a continuous stream of praise from me so far, hasn't it? Oh, I am taking too many hits. That was careless. It's as you can see now, I'm getting a little bit further into the game. Oh, I got 2 upgrades then. Getting a little bit further into the game, you can see things start to get much more intense. And I'm only about halfway at the moment as well. So yeah, the further you get, it's pretty fun. A lot of shooting action to be had. And you can see, there we go, look, firing over the edge of the platform there, getting a bit of reach. Because the enemies do respawn, you do have to kind of keep moving. Sitting in the same place isn't going to get you very far. And yeah, here we go, there's another terminal hacked. Success! I do like the hacking animation and the interface. That glitching effect is really cool. Nice touch. The music too as well. There's just one tune playing through most of the game, but it really sets the mood, doesn't it? Which is what good game music should do. So good job on that one as well. Okay, so normally I just do these videos in one take. I bet you've never noticed that, have you? Anyway, I thought it was not really fair to not show everything that this game has to offer, in particular the boss fight. So I also died as well, so I had to kind of go back from the beginning. I really wish there were checkpoints in this game. Anyway, this is the kind of end area here, but it's protected by a force field. So what I need to do now is hack the remaining 3 terminals, and then I'll be able to get into the final area where the boss is, and hopefully I'll be able to show you everything the boss can do. So, because I'm further into the game now, it's getting quite intense with numbers of enemies. One thing that can happen, a little bit of a problem maybe with the balance of the gameplay, is that if you do get swarmed near the end, this particularly happens if you kind of change direction. If you get swarmed, there can be far too many enemies for you to be able to kind of get control, and you are just going to end up dying and then being sent back to the beginning. I only seem to notice this happening a lot when you've changed direction. If you're going back along an area you've just been through, having hacked a terminal, and you can see there's quite a big swarm there. It's when enemies kind of respawn in. It's when you change directions, so you'll sometimes see the enemies actually spawning in with the grey clouds like we've seen earlier on. And yeah, that can get a little bit overwhelming. This is why it's important not to get hit. Anyway, I think I'm pretty close to a terminal now, so we might see this effect in action now. I think as we go through, I think there's a kind of maximum number of enemies that the game can have at once. So if it notices that you're going back a different direction and there isn't enough enemies because they've despawned, it will respawn a lot, and that's when things can get pretty intense. But if you're fully raided, it is pretty cool when they try and swarm you. Anyway, that's 1 terminal down, 2 to go. Then hopefully we're going to show you the boss. So yeah, when you've got your weapon fully upgraded, running around like this is quite an effective way of doing things, because you can nearly attack in every direction that you walk in then, except straight ahead. Anyway, here's another terminal. So 1 more. You can see there above me, you can see those enemies spawning in. So going back now, you'll notice there aren't actually... Oh, there we go. Just before I could say there aren't actually any enemies, a load spawned back in. So yeah, that can get a little bit overwhelming sometimes. But it really does help then if you've actually upgraded your weapons and managed to not take too many hits. So yeah, you have 3 lives in the game, which should be enough for you to get through. I'm not terribly good at games like this, so I'm managing. Anyway, the intensity of the action really does ratchet up once you get near the end. So many enemies to shoot. Oh, those walking beast things, they do take a few more hits. Anyway, I've got some health back, so this is the last terminal. So once I've hacked this, you can see it's changed colour on the map now. The boss area is accessible now. Now before I go to the boss, I do want to get my weapons fully upgraded, because I don't want to have to try and fight the boss with anything but the most powerful weapon that I can get. So we need another upgrade before we're going to go into that boss room. You can see, because I'm kind of doubling back on myself now, game's trying to spawn a few more enemies in for me. Have to be keeping... There we go. That's what we need. Have to be keeping my wits about me. Oh. Yeah, that little cloud effect for when enemies are going to spawn in is quite helpful, because it does let you kind of back away from where an enemy is about to appear. That'll be a bit frustrating. So it's a good job that that's in there. Here we go. Boss time. Now, I did not expect this boss fight when I was first playing the game, so this is quite a surprise to me. As bosses go, though, it's pretty cool. We've got a few different attack patterns. That powerful beam, that looks really cool. Nicely animated. We can only hit the boss. It's kind of like a brain in a jar, isn't it? We have to be what? Oh no, took a hit. Bad. We can only hit the boss in its brain. So we do have to be kind of careful how we're positioning ourselves. You really don't want to take any hits on this boss because, yeah, hitting it with the level 1 weapon is going to be pretty hard. It's possible with the level 2 one. Obviously much easier with level 3, but I've taken a hit now, haven't I? Anyway, I seem to be doing okay for now. Nice boss music too. Sounds a little bit urgent, doesn't it? Got to appreciate good boss music. Hey, nice particle effects. So there we go. Victory! I'm glad I came back to do the rest of this because I wanted to show you that cool boss fight. Also, look at that lovely little victory screen. Beautiful pixel art there. So that was X0 by Paranoid Cactus. A great run and gun game for Pico 8. Well worth checking out. Like I say, I think it's one of the best Pico 8 games. Certainly one of the best Pico 8 games that I've actually played. If you know of any other ones that you think are just as good, let me know. But yes, there it is. There is the game. So, I can kind of do my outro again now. This is going to be really fun to edit, because I hate video editing. Anyway, if you want to play this game, it's on itch. You can also play it on Splore, like how I'm playing it. Go and follow Paranoid Cactus on Twitter, and check out his other games. There are many good ones. Anyway, thank you for watching this, and I'll see you again very soon.